To manifest wealth, I put into action the required wisdom. Welcome back, guys. What I want to talk about with you guys, I want to have a real serious talk about this upcoming altcoin season when things really rip. Um, it's mainly about the mentality that you have to have. I'm going to pop over here to Crypto Bubbles because I want you to see something here. And what I want you to see is basically look at this market. Look at all this green. There's a lot of tokens out there, guys. And let me go over here and I want you to see the fear and greed index. We're over in the greed again. And we're looking at 68 in greed. Things are ramping up. Things are really starting to ramp up. And when you go back over crypto bubbles, a lot of you just starting, you might look at this and say, crypto is just so confusing. What do I pick? What do I pick? And then you go over here and you see, wow, this is just the top 100. And then if you go again, then you got 200. And some of your coins might be on here. Hell, it might even be back here somewhere. The point that I'm trying to make to you guys is don't spread yourself too thin. There's a lot of tokens out here. Uh, a lot of people don't really have us as crypto YouTube influencers and maybe your friends, your family, maybe even people in the comments. Nobody has all the right answers. No one does. I can tell you this though. Out of all these cryptocurrencies, you have to at some point lock it down to a few. Depending on the money that you have to decide, do you want to spread your portfolio out and just try to do a lot with a little? It's not really going to work like that. You have to pick your tokens. You're going to have to lock it down. And when I say lock it down, you're going to have to do your research. Whether you do your research, whether you get your research off YouTube or whatever you end up choosing, whether it's an aerodrome, whether it's an Ando Finance, a Dogecoin, Pepe, Turbo, I could go on and on. Shiba, Cardano, I could go on and on and on. But the most important thing is that you have conviction in the tokens that you pick. What does conviction look like in crypto? Conviction looks like Aerodrome Finance when it was down. Let me pop back over here and show you guys something. I'm going to show you what conviction really looks like in crypto. Conviction is this right here. Aerodrome Finance is up at $1.18. We all know that it's been up to $2.33. We know that, and a lot of you got in at higher prices. Maybe $1.18, maybe $1.90. The point is, you guys got in at some point, and you got in for some reason. Whether it was because you had FOMO, fear of missing out, or maybe your favorite YouTuber talked it up and told you about some of the tokenomics and different things, or just maybe you did your own research to the point that you know that it's a good play. What conviction really looks like is when Aerodrome went down and it hit, say, in the 7 day, where did it drop to? And it dropped down underneath $1. How you make money in crypto is having true conviction to say, you know what? It's under $1. I may have gotten in at $2. But why did I get in? Why did I get in that token? What did I get in? What was my why? I always tell you guys when it comes to not only cryptocurrency, but anything in life, what's your why? You have to have a purpose for what you're doing. You have to have a purpose. So whether you got into Aerodrome Finance because you wanted to take a little money and maybe 5 or 10 exit. And maybe the reason you want a 5 and 10 exit is because maybe you have something you're trying to buy. Maybe you're trying to get a new car. Maybe you're trying to get your own apartment. Well, get a down payment for a house. The point is, you have to have enough conviction to not only stay in these plays, but you have to have enough conviction to say when everybody else is running away and everybody else is selling, like we see on Dex tools a lot, when we see all these people just dumping Arrow or they're dumping other tokens. True conviction is, you know what? I already know what I hold is a gem. I know because I know why I got in it. Let me tell you a little story. I fell into a trap like that once. I was buying everything I heard somebody talk about. This is like last bull run, and I'm just buying everything. And I told you guys the story before, but what I didn't tell you is how I managed to get out of that situation. The way I got out of that situation is I one day I looked up and I seen my portfolio. It was terrible. It was super terrible. It had money in it, but I had lost a lot of money too. And I was married to these tokens. I was married to these tokens. Now, and the best way I can describe that is imagine being married or in a relationship with someone you don't really know. You're probably thinking, yeah, people do that all the time. Exactly. But how long do those relationships last? They're not built on anything. So it's the same way with crypto. I looked at my portfolio, I looked at all these tokens, and I was like, I don't even know why I got in half of these tokens. And then when I really took a deeper look at fundamentals, I was like, they don't really have any. But then I'm taking a step further because this is what you need to be able to do. I looked at these tokens and I said, I don't even have a price prediction for them because I don't even know anything about them. And that's when it clicked. I was living off hopium. I was living off of, wow, I hope I get into this portfolio one day and I'll open up my wallet and it's just like $1 million sitting there. But I had no concept of how any of that really worked. Or I'm gonna be honest with you, I was really lazy. I was lazy when it came down to it. I remember when I was trading stocks because I got into stocks before I got into crypto. And I remember I was in the stock market and I had a buddy who used to tell me stocks to buy and I would run out and buy them. And I would go back to him and I'd say, why that stock not moving? Oh, he's like, give it time, give it time. I ended up holding a bad stock for like 3 years and I saw no returns. Actually, I saw more of my money being drained out of that stock. If I'd have just did a little research, just a little research, and not listen to him and just say, you know what? I take what he say with a grain of salt, but let me do a little bit of research. I'd have got out of that play. But take you back again. I was in the stock market again. I remember I looked for the cheapest token that I can find, the cheapest token. And I'm finna use that as an example, and I'm pop right back over here because I'm gonna show you guys something. What sometimes people do. So if you see right here, let me finish my story first. Um, so I looked for the cheapest token I could find, and I'm be honest, this token was about 2 3 cents. I loaded up on that token because in my head I did the math. I had a ton of them. I said, okay, this token go to $10. I'm a bazillionaire. Oh man, I didn't really know nothing about the token. I held that token for like 3 years, and every now and then I check back with that hopium in my head. Oh, I hope it went up. I hope today's the day. Then I started learning a little more. Then I started doing a little bit research on this token. After I started learning how fundamentals and really look at things. And I looked at this. I really went and looked at this stock. Turns out, to my surprise, the company was based out of a strip mall. Literally, I even had like had screenshots and different things of it that I found on the internet. It was a shabby, ran down, like finance place that you would find in some strip mall next to a China buffet. Oh, I was hurt. I only lost about two or three, about 2,000, I think, on that. But it taught me a valuable lesson. So when I came into crypto, crypto was a different beast. Again, I told you I came in right as the bull, right as like everything was going through the roof, altcoin season. So everything I touched turned to gold. But again, I didn't really know anything about any of the tokens I had. So I'm over here, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to we're going to do something real quick. We are going to do something right quick. Let me remember where that's at. What I want to do is show you guys recently added. Okay, we're gonna get to recently added, and I highly suggest you guys use these tools that I use all the time, like Coin Market Cap, Coin Gecko, things of that nature. But I'm gonna go over here and I'm use recently added. A lot of times people can come on here and you can find some gems. Um, but I remember back then, even then, I would go on here and I would look at all the tokens that just came out, and I look for something that like maybe made some sense to me, and I would say, "Oh, I heard of GameStop. Let's click on GameStop." And I look at it and I look at the price and I say, "Oh wow, look at that, look at that." Like I'm talking back then, I didn't even care about none of this, none of the token supply, anything. I was just looking for something cheap. GameStop, name I know. You know, everybody knows GameStop. Everybody's seen what it did. It was the comeback king and the stock market at one time. So I would take my money and I would dump it in here. And I say, because when it hit $1, huh, imagine how much money I'm going to have. Okay. But what do I really know about that token? What do I know? I ain't did no research or anything. I'm just going off hopium. I wouldn't even look at any of this. All of the fundamental things that I talk about on here that you guys should do, how you should look at the white papers and different things of that nature. I didn't do any of that. And that's how I used to approach things. And then I would get shaken out. Somebody come along and say, "Oh, you shouldn't hold a GameStop. You should get out of that. That's a busted coin. You should go over here and get this token." No conviction. I would have no conviction. I'll jump out of that and jump onto the next one. And then I would hear somebody or a YouTuber talk about another token. I said, "Oh, let me jump over here to that one." And I ain't gonna worry about this over here. Do you see what I'm getting? You have to lock it down at some point, especially with the the new altcoin season that's about to start. You guys, again, you haven't seen money like this. You haven't seen adrenaline rushes like this. So my best advice to all of you is get you 5 or 6 plays, 5 or 6, because the true money is made in quantity, the quantity of the tokens you have, but also the quality of those tokens that you have. Get you 5 or 6 plays that you believe in. Money don't grow on trees, and you say, "I'm locking it down on these tokens right here," and you put your money in. And regardless of that token going up and down, if you did the right research, you even used YouTube, you checked into the company, tokenomics, you did all of the things that you're supposed to do, everything that's within your power, then regardless of what somebody else is telling you to buy or what somebody else's feel is bullish, you'll stick to your conviction and you'll continue putting money in that token. Because then, let's just say the token don't turn out to be anything. I'd rather have to blame myself than have to blame all these different people that told me to go get this token, that token, or that token. See, and always have an exit strategy, some type of price prediction in your head. It's better to be conservative than to just go overboard. Yeah, I would love to just say, uh, Casper, um, Shiba Inu. I love to say all of those are just gonna go to the moon. And when I say moon, I mean like past anything that anybody ever thought. Could it happen? Yes, but I need to be a little bit conservative and tell myself, okay, at the bare minimum, what do I feel like this token is going to reach? Because I've done my research. Uh, it's backed by their technology, the lane that they're in. They're in their own lane, and the need that they fulfill, and what problem are they trying to solve? So based on all of that, I can say at the bare minimum, this is what I'm going to make. This is what this token is going to rise to, and based on how many tokens I have, this is how much I'm going to make if I take 80% out when I'm supposed to. That's how you make the money in crypto. That's how you make the big money in crypto. And like I always told you guys, always have a plan of where you're going to put it next. Where you're going to put it next. Because we're here to grow wealth. We're here. We're following the breadcrumbs of wealth. But let me tell you something. The real smart, wealthy people, they already know what they're going to do with their crypto profits. They already know. And let me tell you something. Yes, they're going to have fun with some of their profit and they're going to clear some debt and different things. But do not think for one moment that these people are not they don't have a plan to make more money with it. Because you got to remember, all of this is going to start over again. And you have to make sure that you have some money left over on the side so that you can get back in and get even more crypto than you started with because you got all this money you just made. So, the message I'm trying to send here today is lock it down. It's time to lock it down. Those of you that's been sitting on the sidelines just waiting, I'm going to wait till things look a little bit better. Things are never going to look anything better. You need to jump in now. You need to get in now because it's not going to wait on you. It is not going to wait. When this rocket ship take off, you either have your tickets and sitting on board, or you sitting here like this, just watching it take off for the stratosphere. Which one do you want to be? All right, guys, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you again for all of your support. You guys are great as always. If you like videos like this, be sure to give me a like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so that I know you were here, and drop me a comment as well. Let me know what you think. Let me know. I would like to know, what I'm curious about is, are you in the game right now? Some of you that's sitting on the sidelines, some of you I don't ever hear from, but you're here. Are you in the game? Do you have tokens? Or are you still waiting for that perfect time that's never going to show up? Anyway, that's all I want to say, guys. Lock it down. I'm out.